Okay, now we started. So what we're gonna do is another demo review of the matches that we played on Borneo and the coal plant or whatever last Saturday. And we're going to be focusing on the flank, so Adam and Roy. Okay, let's first look at the logs. We're just gonna look at how you died pretty much so that we can see. Okay, so
ask if I should listen on stream or on Discord.
listen on Discord, I think.
Okay.
So Joy died to. This is Borneo, I believe. Oh no, this is coal plant. Let's get Borneo first. Okay, it doesn't seem like Joy died to anyone in particular, and oh, actually I looked at the wrong stats. Here we go. Yeah, Joy died to their spy 4 times and sniper, so he did die quite a bit to the pick classes, as well as 6 times to the heavy,
yeah.
Which is pretty bad. And you died also a bit to the pick classes. Other than that, yeah. Overall, you and Joy had, I don't know, 18 deaths and 15 deaths. That's okay, I suppose. Joy had pretty good DPM, but yeah, let's get into the actual game. So in the beginning on offense on Borneo, your goal is of course to take the house on the left side in the beginning. Watch out for sniper sightlines, although as far as I remember they ran a huntsman in the beginning, and I believe you kill him pretty early, which is nice.
I remember you said we should defend the left side from the start.
Yeah.
So I just took it as fast as I could on attack.
Yep, that's great, because if we allow them to hold the left side for free, left side if we're on offense of course, they can just, you know, flank us while we're actually trying to push up the tracks. So let's see how you do that. You should just get buffs of course before you go out of spawn. I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit. Okay. Okay, so right off the bat, it looks like you're clearing the stickies. That's nice. Joy went out. Wait, where's Joy actually? Yeah, he went out to the right side. He should probably be helping you on the flank immediately. Although I didn't cover it while we did the map talk. They're distracted by the spy and you picked their sniper, so that's pretty much perfect. Again.
So I got their soldier later.
Yeah. Okay, so now Joy is with you. That's good. A little bit delayed, but still fine. And also you allow Cookie to push up on the flank, of course, which is a very important point, because he has a very good angle from over here to shoot at them. So that's another reason, I suppose, why you should try to get the flank. And you did a pretty good job of that, so nicely done. And you completely own their soldier. That's nice. The whole crits thing happened. I'm not gonna focus that much on our main combo though, because I kind of covered that in the other demo review already. So yeah. Did you die?
Oh,
Joy you didn't die. Joy got sniped. Not much you can do about that except not stand in like the sniper sightlines. Maybe when after they use the crits, I think Joy should have tried to play safe, because that indicates that we're about to push in with our own Uber, and he wanted to stay alive for that push. I mean, I think he was spamming their sentry, but there's no way he's gonna get the sentry for free, right? So he better just stay out of a sniper sightline and stay alive. But of course the respawn timers are going to be pretty short this early, so he might be up for the push again. Although we should have pushed a little bit earlier. We could have been even faster, so still. Joy collapses and gets a really nice kill there. I didn't see that earlier. I think you should have maybe tried to help Joy while we were pushing with Uber. The thing is, during Uber charges, let me actually go a little bit back. During Uber charges, we don't want to have that many players in at the same time because we don't want to flash too many people, right? So, so the general thing for scouts is in the beginning of the Uber charge, just push the cart or help at the flank. Depends how far you've pushed up on the flank already. If you have a lot of space, then maybe there's not much to do on the flank, in which case you can just worry about the cart, which I think should have been maybe your priority during this Uber push, because I remember that you got a bit distracted by a spy behind or something. Okay, so now we're bringing Evan out and their spy is right here. Let's see where you are. So you bumped their spy and almost kill him.
Oh, he was so low.
Yeah, that was incredibly close. I mean, you do go back, I don't know. You go back to the cart, but then...
They used crits and I ran away.
Yeah. It was a bit like you got distracted by the spy and you didn't nearly get him. Should probably just push the cart though, overall, but it was, you know, a difficult decision to make. Had you killed the spy, it would have been worth it, you know, so can't always know those things. In general though, what I was going to say earlier is that towards the end of an Uber push, it can be pretty great to have a scout in, because then you can clean up kills in a similar fashion to sixes, you know. Just jump in there and finish off weak players, which of course depends heavily on our team to be able to call damage out accurately. Okay, so let's see where you're at now. So at this point you should probably just help a bit with pushing the cart, although you did kill the spy right there, but that's not really your job, of course, for the most part.
Yeah, okay, it was incredibly close, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, there's not too much to say in the early pushes, because
I think we should work on our spy calls, because I called spy a few times and no one turned around.
Yeah.
We should just like get to the definition. Like if someone says spy, we should like all turn around if we can.
Yeah, that's true. Or like, yeah, preferably we would like call spy on X player, right? Like the spy on you, Evan, or something like that, and then everybody doesn't get scared and turns around and everything. But yeah, we should work on our calls in general, because yeah, like that close case over there, I don't know, like maybe you called it but the comms were kind of cluttered, or maybe Evan just didn't listen. Maybe you just said spy but you didn't say spy on you, Evan, which...
Yeah, I said like spy, something like that.
Yeah, which it's better to just be more accurate in your description, just say where is, who is on, like who should turn around and things, you know. Because if they, I think in general, if you say a teammate's name, they'll react a lot quicker, because there's so much stuff in the comms all the time, right? So, but if Evan hears his name, he's gonna like immediately react. Okay, so now let's see. You enjoy get on their medic, which is completely unprotected. So that's pretty much flawless
Here
play.
I got scammed out of all of my kills. I got so much damage on, but I didn't get less hits on any of them.
Yeah, I'm the master kill stealer.
So much better.
And right here, you should just immediately run back to the cart and start pushing, I think. And instead, like, I appreciate that you're with me right now, but I think that at this point, like, our combo is the ones that should be pushing up and gaining ground. Droy is fine to have with us because Isole is like pretty useful for denying area and dealing splash damage. But yeah, pretty much after we like flush them out of this general house area and tunnel, you should have gone back to cart, and our like combo should have maybe pushed up a bit instead, because obviously Scout has ×2 cap. Not much more to that. This time we'll get to see the early push that I missed last time. One thing that I'm very happy with is that we're really fast with between the second and the third point pretty much, which I'm very happy with. I mean, I do complain a bit that we should optimize our cart pushing, but overall I think our cart pushing was okay up until the last point where we got stuck, obviously. But yeah, I believe it was a pretty nice call to not only take the ground here pretty early, but also come up from the right side, because their combo was pretty much holding over here. They even had like a hidden heavy right here. Can't remember how he died. But yeah, meanwhile you and the NG you're pushing the cart, and that's pretty much flawless play, you know. So how the cart got from tunnel all the way over here so fast, that's just, you know, really great. Snablo overextends a little bit. He does that quite a few times, but yeah, I don't know. Guess there's not too much to focus on regarding the flank at this moment, because we're just rolling the cart upward, you know. But yeah, in general, we have such a big presence right here, so the fact that people are getting picked off by overextending and all this stupid things is kind of bad, because if we had not gotten picked, you know, we could have tried to roll all the way into last with our kind of big wave. I believe I also die to a heavy right here because I'm overextended, so also my bad. I don't know, I think in the old demo review I said like I thought that maybe people would come with me. Maybe I should have called that we should be on the heavy or something. It's just a matter of communication, but yeah, anyway, pretty bad that we get picked.
Some things that I want to point out is Cookie actually, I think, got killed by their sniper quite a few times, and I think we should focus on the flank more. We kinda got off track here.
Yep, this is the point where it really starts becoming more important, because Borneo is kind of known for not having that big of a flank a lot of the time. So a lot of the time you will actually have to play like together with the rest of the team. But at this last, you know, there's these two main entrances, like to the left and to the right, and something that you should work on is just working together with Droy to get the opposite side of the combo. So if I call that we're gonna push left, you know, you start taking the right side, but don't just push in until you die. Just try to establish the ground and get as far forward as you can, so that at the moment we...
Tom joined.
Indeed.
Oh, hi Tom.
What is this going on?
We're doing a demo review of we're doing a demo review of the Highlander Scrim that we played on Saturday. You can watch it if you want to join, but otherwise, yeah, I don't know. It's up to you, but yeah.
No, it's fine.
Okay, we'll just keep going then. Yeah, what I was gonna say is that you and Droid need to kind of be ready to push in with the rest of the team, as we are about to use an Uber. So, like at this moment, Droid should be going right, helping you, which he does. So now let's see what happens in our first Uber charge. We're also pushing the cart a little bit further, which is nice, because obviously our push is kind of mostly a temporary, you know, thing where we only have a certain amount of time, and we need to also push the cart while we actually take control over this area with an Uber charge, because their spawn is right here. So if we use too long, they're just gonna regain control. And so one of the things that we can do ahead of time is just to push the cart all the way until it's no longer safe, right? So that's pretty good that we did that. You and Droid don't really go in at the same time, and I don't know, our combo got forced pretty early as well.
I get problems with the center because everyone will just run to the center and I couldn't finish them off.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the things that happened in this match, as well as on Coal Plant, were kind of a team effort where you couldn't necessarily look at an individual player and just think that, oh, he completely lost our team the game here. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I got trick stepped here somehow. I think he understepped me.
Yeah, that might have happened. So
I like double jumped and he just like came around the corner under me, and there's not much you can do about that because of the backstep hitbox.
Okay, but now you're back up. Joy, I don't know, he should be helping you right here. And you do almost get that pick. If you were like a little bit more active, I don't know.
I got really low by the spy. He like butter knifed me and shot me with the revolver, I believe.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to chase the scout.
Yeah, but you could have, like, if I'm saying if Joy was with you, you wouldn't have lost that much health maybe in the fight, and that would have helped you be aggressive on the flank, because you kind of hesitated a lot, both you and Joy, and you went back a little bit and started fighting on the left side, whereas most of their team were pretty far pushed up on the left side. So I think you would have had like an easy time kind of getting here. I mean, they had a pyro and the NJ pretty much only, so it might not have been that easy, but yeah, I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I don't know why Joy don't suspect that spy of, like, I don't know. Yeah, that was a
Might
bit.
have been disguised as scout and watching the flank.
I think he was disguised. If he was disguised as a scout watching the flank, he definitely should have been suspicious. Get it? I think he was disguised as a sniper though.
Oh yeah, I get it now. I get it now.
You all in the medic, which is fine because we all died, so you're just trying to go for a sack, right? Besides, you know, as a scout, you're gonna be super fast back to the front line anyway. Let's see. Again, I don't think Joy should be on the left side maybe that much. Although we're not really ready to push either, so so maybe he's just looking for picks. I guess that would be fine. Right now we're just waiting for an Uber, really. I also got picked as well down here because I thought I could pick one of their players, and yeah,
spectate me a bit.
Yes.
See like more precisely what's happening.
Yeah, I'll actually try to be a little bit better at focusing you and Joy specifically. So we're chipping the sentry. I think this is fine. We're like trying to push, but I don't know, we lose a few players. Do we still push? Yeah, now we're just about to push, so let's see what you're up to. You made a heavy and you die. I don't know. Not much you could have done about that. I think maybe if you had gotten away, you know, maybe been a little bit more careful. I'm not sure. You could have just try to rotate, because obviously I'm telling you that you need to get in through the flank, right, the opposite side. But in this case, the main reason why we were pushing from the right side was because they were holding pretty heavily on the left side, right, forcing us early and stuff. So now that we're pushing right side, I said that the flank should go left side, which he did, which was correct. However, they were still holding left side pretty heavily, right? So you just ran straight into their combo with the heavy and everything. Now what you need to realize is that that is already a win from our side, because they are committed on the wrong side of their last, right? So what you need to do then is just back up and rotate around, maybe through the main, get on the cart, and join up with the rest of your team, because yeah, well, pretty much as I said, they've already kind of failed by having their combo on the complete wrong side of their last hold, so we can get in for free. So all you need to do is just not die and try to regroup. You're never expected to like single-handedly take out a combo, of course. Although, as I said, I can't remember exactly what happened to the rest of our combo. I think we used our Uber, but we only got down their sentry. And now they jump down crits and kill a lot of our players. I don't know, I think that was just a matter of everybody not being in. While you went into the left side, I think with our main combo there were only like 3 players. So yeah, and as you said, a few players died like pretty recently, like before this push, so we didn't even have everybody. But I touched on that during the main demo review anyway, so we'll just not focus too much on that. I like the sentry placement because it's not that easily spammable, but it still supports you on the flank. It maybe could have been like right here as well, though. I'm not sure. Joy kind of goes into the flank on the right side just as you go out. You need to again like try to just stick more together, go as one. Guess you took damage from something and now you're back, although like right here you and oh yeah, Joy got headshot. That's unfortunate. And Cookie died right before this push, so it was unfortunate team coordination from our side that we pushed without our sniper, and their sniper also gets a headshot on Joy. But I mean, at this point it would be ideal if you would be able to get in, both you and Joy. Imagine like we're already on top of them with an Uber. A lot of their players are in spawn. If Joy could like spam out this entrance and I could maybe spam out the left entrance with my stickies, I think we might have even been able to cap here. But of course you can't really do that much about getting headshot, except maybe try to like be a little bit more unpredictable with your movement, like jump and then spam crouch while you're in the air and just do a rocket jump maybe towards the sniper and spam him out. And if you were with Joy as well, you could have like chipped their sniper with your pistol to maybe try to disrupt their aim. But yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, we just yes, Nablo kind of overextends a little bit, I think. And they come up with the crits behind us as well. We didn't get their combo with our Uber, which was also a bit bad. And yeah, here not really much you can do, of course. Let's just fast forward a bit to the next push. I mean, to be honest, the main thing about the flank is probably gonna come on the coal plant match or map. Yeah, we kind of lose a lot of players there, but we kind of try to sack in order to get an advantage for our next Uber push, although we should have been building meanwhile maybe. I didn't communicate that very clearly, I think, and besides our sack wasn't very well organized, so we didn't get anything out of it. Again, I think I touched on this on the main demo review, but right here, like their crits is about to expire. And people just need to communicate that they're actually going to focus the heavy at the same time, because Joy just dies alone and then like afterwards we start focusing their heavy. So I don't know, I think Joy maybe was a bit ambitious because their heavy is going to be slow anyway, so we might as well take a little bit longer to just make sure that we're on the same page and everything. Here, I guess their sniper was watching, which is the main reason that we popped very early. But, and yeah, their pyro pushes me off the platform. And let's see, we're only lost Joy. Joy got backstabbed. But yeah, we only have 3 players in with this Uber, so that's very bad. Maybe it's my fault to a certain degree because I should communicate that we're pushing a little bit before we actually push, which sometimes I did, maybe sometimes I didn't though. But yeah, okay, you're in here on the flank and you're getting on the cart, so that's nice, I think.
I died to the scout here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, not much you could have done about that except just practice DM, you know. And then yeah, I'm not sure what happened to everybody, but we had very few people with that push. Some died earlier, like Joy died in the beginning to a stab. And yeah, I'm just noticing even clearer now that we kind of look at this a second time that there's a lot of separation in our team. Like people just die before pushes, and yeah, I think it's pretty insightful to look at everything from a different perspective, because in the last demo review I was focusing mainly on the combo, and there went the spy back cap. So yeah, let's just focus on the defense now.
So do you know who is Snow, the sniper main?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, I think he was their sniper.
On this team?
Actually. Yes, their sniper I think was Snow.
Damn.
I found it. If I go to their sniper's profile, it's like his YouTube and stuff.
Alright, but it might be just that he is a fan of his
let's see.
YouTube, so he like...
No, he's the leader of Snow's group.
Ah, okay. Here you go behind them as they push up and kind of pick off weak players. That's great. Let's see, where did Joy go? He died somehow, didn't quite catch it. Not gonna go back though. But I guess he just died fighting. I trust that it was a good cause, you know. And nice DM, just killing that heavy. I approve, and now you get another buff, and you just go back to your right side. Yep, I approve. Joy should be with you as soon as he can. And you deny their sniper. Remember how, like, when we were pushing, you immediately captured this house and you let Cookie move forward, whereas their sniper is getting stuck behind over here, so we're already doing a much better job on the flank. In general though, I think with the exception of our last push, as I've probably said a million times already, but with the exception of our last push, I think our team did quite well on this map. Last hold and last push, to be more exact. Right here, you should probably look for a flank opportunity because they are very tunneled. So like right now.
So I was looking for an opportunity now.
Alright, yeah, you might do it just now because their medic is like really exposed and everything. Okay, so here you come.
I don't know, I went for the sniper and he has hit the headshot, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Where's Joy, by the way? Ooh, I'm just gonna see if I can find him. Oof. Chasing the scout, I guess? Yeah, that's pretty bad because Joy's time is not worth their scout, for sure. Yeah, so he's very far back and he's not going to be able to catch their scout, so that's pretty terrible. As I said in the main demo review, I think that you in general should be chasing down their scout, although like right here, you're probably better off just killing their push, and then, you know, maybe later you can hunt down the scout. Although, yeah, it's not always easy. Like sometimes there's multiple things that you would kind of like to do, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you kind of just miss your window a little bit and they turn around to focus you.
I tried to go for the medic and then I saw the respawn wave coming on the other side.
Yeah.
and then I got gangbang.
Yeah. I do agree with like looking for that opportunity though, but you should have been a little bit faster. You can't always know though, of course. So just a bit of luck and a bit of game sense, I suppose. But yeah, it's kind of like a spy play, I guess, because you needed to go in while their respawn wave was still back there, and they were still being focused on us, because at this point they had already kind of forced us back, so they could divert their attention to you real easily. And that just has to do with synergy yet again. Here I get backstabbed. Yeah, synergy, you know, if you can split the attention of the enemies, either by, you know, distracting them for your team or taking a distraction yourself, that's always a good thing, and everybody needs to work on that. Okay, let's see if Joy has gotten back into the action. So you're here, it's nice. I guess Joy died. Did you see how it died? I don't know. Shouldn't have been chasing the scout though. So let's have a look at our hold here. You and Joy should be down here, preventing them from flanking us. I'm not sure if they actually successfully get their teleporter up, but yeah, okay, Joy destroys it. That's nice. Their spy is spotted over here, so he should definitely not get anything. This is time where we're pretty close to where Evan drops, I believe. I think you were kind of spy checking behind, although the thing is, you know, you shouldn't commit too much to chasing spies that have seemingly gotten away with cloak, because just wasting your time alone is kind of worth it for the spy. And it seems like Snablo was also very focused on, you know, hunting him down. Just try to, like, when the spy is gone, just consider him out of the picture. Just remember where he was and don't get backstabbed, you know. And you run far ahead, which is interesting, because they did lose a lot of players. So I guess this is like your spy instinct kicking in, and you're going for their tele, which is nice. You should
I was actually spawn camping because their scout was spawn camping it, and it was working quite well. So I thought they might pull it.
Problem is, they just had their respawn wave, and they all surpassed you like through tracks, right? So they're not gonna have any players. So at this point, you should be pressing tab, seeing that they have no players down, and just kill their tele.
I did press tab, and I was like, if no one dies in the next 5 seconds or something like that, I'm gonna destroy the tele and go. But then someone died.
Right, okay. I disagree with that decision though, but I think you should just kill their tele, call that you're behind them, and then maybe we can coordinate an aggression, like maybe you distract from behind.
Like a bad player just kinda derps here. I played like a retard, because, I don't know, Silender.
Spy instinct.
Not really my spy instinct, is more to like shoot people in the face.
Maybe pub instinct. Yeah, here Evan drops. See, that's the thing, like, if you... Actually, I can relate this to some other games as well. The strategy of like waiting for enemies to die. I mean, one thing's if they're already dead, but if you're waiting for them to die, that implies that we're already going to kill them, right? And at that point, we already have a disadvantage. We don't necessarily need to be spawn camping anyway. So it's known as, in a few other games that I've heard, at least the terminology for that would be a win harder strategy. But you don't need to win harder if you're already winning, right? So
well, you can win harder.
Yeah, you can always win harder, but if it's between winning harder and risking losing a push, you know, you should always go for the safe strategy, because if you're already winning, you know, you should just be able to hold your position, right? But yeah, basically we don't manage to hold because we drop and we get pushed back, so it doesn't pay off either. So yeah, let's see what Joy is up to. That was what I intended to do. Yeah, it's pretty painful how many stabs we let their spy get.
Maybe I should have watched the spy a bit more, because he kept disguising as me.
Yeah, we should all have been more careful about their spy.
So I think the Snalo goes for the frags a lot.
Yeah, yeah, he should also be spy checking. But I mentioned that a lot in the main demo review, so I think he's gotten the message. I can't seem to find Roy. Is he dead right now? Oof, no, he's alive. Let's see. Okay, he's with the main combo. I mean, at this point we're kind of getting pushed back anyway, so he can't obviously hold the flank here. Although, yeah, had we not dropped, however, and you and Roy were kind of still in this area, we could have maybe counter pushed into them with an Uber. But that's like hindsight. It's hard to predict what's going to happen. The game is always dynamic, you know. So yeah. At this point, I do a poor job of organizing the team. We kind of stick around too long in this upper area, whereas we should be trying to create a solid defense in the house. So, I don't know. I guess Vortex is already on it, building. Let's see. I don't actually know where Vortex is. Let me pause and just check that. While we're focusing on the flank in this review, I think it's kind of important to look at the other classes a bit as well, because obviously the flank's place should depend on the position of the rest of
I think we should
team.
focus like a bit more specifically on the flank, not like just generally what they did, but like mistakes, like smaller mistakes also.
Yeah, we could look at that.
Like you could spectate in first person and stuff and see.
Yeah, I'll actually try to do that, especially on Asheville. Or I mean Cole or something. I guess that like the reason why I'm kind of doing a bit more general about the flank in this is just because payload is a lot about just strategy, pushing at the right time, and I trust that you and Roy, of course, you have both very good DM, so I don't doubt that bit. Yeah, so I think Vortex maybe should have fallen back a little bit earlier so that he could start setting up while we were trying to delay them. Although we shouldn't have committed that hard to the delay, so that we could actually all have lived and you know, help Vortex out by defending this house. I in particular do like a terrible mistake by just getting caught out right here. I get like launched forward by one of their stickies. So terrible play by me. I mean, that's a great stab, I suppose, but maybe not the most important pick. Right here, I don't know, I don't think you should be trying to get behind. In general, try to focus less on... I don't know, if you're gonna go behind, you should do it to kill their teleporter in general, I think. So, yeah. When we're holding this house, obviously now we were unable to hold it because of me and, you know, the team not failing to just get back and set up a defense. But in general, of course, in this house, you should try to just hold this area right here. Maybe you would have saved Cookie, who knows.
Cookie just kinda got wrecked by that sniper a lot.
Okay, I want to see what happens in this Uber right here. Excuse me, I just needed to take a sip of the water. So yeah. I'm not sure if we felt pressured to force or like use here to save ourselves, or if we felt that we would have a strong Uber, although we didn't have... Okay, so you're with the Uber. At this point, I think everyone should be putting it on you, and you should just run straight up and kill their medic or force. I don't know if they have Uber or not. Let's actually check that real quick. No, they don't have Uber, so yeah. Quick point for Evan. He should be putting the Uber on you here and just have you run in and kill their medic. This was actually one of the scenarios that I talked about a bit, where you try to push with a scout during an Uber advantage to kill their medic. But it seems that we just didn't execute it properly.
I mean, I was
You get
expecting to get a flash a few times, I think, but I didn't end up getting it.
Yeah, in this case, I mean, we only had 2 people with Uber anyway, so Evan definitely should have flashed you. But it should be noted that you got air blasted back, so might not have gotten the medic anyway. If I was a bit more aware, and maybe you could like have gotten a few chip shots at the medic from a range, maybe dealt like 60 damage, I would have been more inclined to just jump in as well, sack for their medic, and you could have just ran out with Evan and reset our Ubers. That would have been the ideal Uber in that situation. But it was a mistake from all 3 of us, I think, that we didn't get that much out of the Uber. Right here. Vortex and... Okay, yeah, he doesn't chase, but Droy is on the case. Which I suppose is like okay here on last because there's not that much space behind, so he can't just infinitely kite Droy, of course. And he does get the kill pretty quickly. So that's perfectly fine. I'm not actually sure how the flank should hold while we're kind of holding this area right here, but I would guess that you should mainly focus on like the house over here. But always be prepared to fall back, of course. Just spam people out and make sure that like their spy and shit isn't getting through through the flank. So let's see what happens. I like this sentry placement. And yeah, they go for a terrible push through this area. Again, I'm not sure if you get a lot done behind. I mean, you kill their dispenser or something. And they do the right thing. They don't chase because obviously, like, now you're behind them. They can't catch up to you unless they send their scout back. And you immediately kind of, once you notice that they're not actually onto you, you turn around. Their sniper and Solly comes out of spawn as well. And you draw their Solly back. Should be able to kill him, actually. Their sniper is helping out though. Let's see. Okay, their Solly kind of backs out. And you get headshot. A bit unfortunate. Not much you can do about snipers if they hit their headshots, you know. Meanwhile, we did get a pretty decent Uber. I killed their medic and demo, but I guess we'll drop quite a few players as well. Yeah. Let's have a look at our last hold now. We lose our last pretty much immediately. I don't know what time we get mailing this NG. Maybe he ran out of ammo. I don't know. Okay, so you're gonna be up in a moment. And Droy is already up. So you should be looking to rotate over to this side immediately. Droy is here already, that's nice. You kind of move to the right side and well you get that pick on the heavy actually, which is pretty nice, but and they're not really doing anything over here. So I don't know. What could have maybe happened though is like since they don't have a flank over here, you could have like pressured from this side, which would have either forced them to move into you and like split their attention, or if they try to focus fully onto the left side, you could have like maybe called that you're behind, and then we could have used Uber into them and just forced them into into you and force them to like flash many players, and I don't know, we could have maybe gotten a good attack, but I'm not too sure about those kinds of like crazy strategies. I guess it's something that will work out when we get a bit more experience.
My stream actually lagged out for a bit.
Okay.
But now it's okay.
Okay, nice. I think you got headshot, right? Because you died. Joy kills their Solly on the left side. Yeah, it looks like you're holding the left side pretty well for the most part. And right here, you kind of make an uninformed decision by bonking behind them yet again when they are pushing. So that's just something to try to be a little bit more aware of. I mean, at some points you kind of got a little bit done behind, but for the most part, I think you should have just been content with killing their tele. It depends. You'll have to look at the respawn waves as well. If there's a massive wave, you shouldn't expect to like be able to just take them all on. But yeah, I do appreciate that you go behind though. But maybe just settle for a pick if there's an easy pick, and get their tally. But that has to do with, you know, working together with the team and seeing how many people die, and you know, just looking if the respawn wave is too big, you'll probably not be able to fight them. If they're all alive, you probably shouldn't wait for them to die, because that already depends on us, you know, winning a big fight or something like that. So yeah, it kind of, you didn't get too much out of it compared to the amount of time. So I think it would have been more useful if you were committed a bit more on the front line. Let's have a look at this map now, and we'll try to focus a bit more on first person. I believe you die very quickly on this mid, so let's see what happens. Maybe it wasn't exactly this mid, but it was one of the mids. Okay, yeah, this was like perfect. You just killed their demo, is completely overextended.
Yeah, then I also died because I got jumped here.
Yep, yeah. That has to do with movement. I think I've...
I jumped forwards because I didn't think the soldier would go for an air shot on me.
Yeah. Oh, my throat is a little bit dry from talking, but yeah, you should just not underestimate your opponent. Isn't that like in Sun Tzu's Book of War or some shit? I don't know. But yeah, I think I've told you a few times as well, like, you shouldn't jump too much against solis and demos because you're pretty easy to hit with projectiles in the air. But the demo pick was beautiful. It was pretty much perfect. Let's see what Joy does meanwhile. Again, I should have set up some binds to spec, but I couldn't be bothered to find the exact commands. I believe he like kills their sniper. I can see an Australian sniper rifle there. Oh no, that's Cookies. Goes for a Market Gardener. I do not approve of that. Papa Storm does not approve.
Frenchie would approve.
I don't approve of Frenchie though. I recently destroyed him in MG actually. He tried to Market Gardener me a lot.
Actually, when I play MG against friends, I market garden them at quite a lot.
Okay, and here you are hiding yet again. Let's see where you're actually hiding. I don't know. I guess you're guarding this spot very
yeah, but then I
carefully.
realized they had a teleporter and I face bombed. And I was also confused because every time I played on Asheville, their soldier and demo rolled out on this side, and no, they were always rolling out on the left side. And I was like, what? Why would they do that?
Okay, I see. Well, yeah. Again, I think it might be kind of a pub mindset, because in a pub you're like.
It might be a pub, but like, especially on Asheville, I used to camp this side. Like, you cannot camp, but every time I stand on this side, there was always like a soldier or a demo rolling out, or like a heavy. And I would get those picks very often in like scrims and in lobbies. Yeah. And this was like one of the rare times they actually didn't use that side.
I mean, I do remember last time we played Nashville, we kind of destroyed them really hard. So I guess we kind of picked up some bad habits then, maybe. I don't know, but it's something that we will fix over time, obviously. Maybe sometimes we'll try to do something and it works out really well, but we don't realize that it's because our enemies just don't know how to deal with it. So maybe like at some point in the future, suddenly the enemy teams just counter whatever we're doing perfectly, right? And we'll just have to adapt, you know, and switch it up. So it's important to be dynamic. And by looking at the demos, that's how we learn what we should switch up. So yeah, that's nice. And then you bonk back here, which is fine, I guess. I mean, you killed their tally, right? And now you're trying to regroup. However, you could have like hid behind and maybe called that you were behind. You were behind a lot on Borneo as well. I don't recall you calling it too much. And one thing that's great about being behind is if you can actually collapse on the enemy team. So if, say, I think both teams were pretty close to getting a crit Uber right at this point. So what we could maybe have done is like try to play off a distraction from you. You call that you're behind, and I say, okay, get ready to collapse on them. You're gonna create a distraction just as we use crits onto them, right? So I don't know, regrouping with the team with the bonk is fine, but could also have tried to gotten something done while you were behind in the first place, you know. However, one problem right here, in addition to our Uber being pretty bad, is first of all, we don't realize that they're coming up on us, so we get surprised. And I don't know, like, I think Droy was right on these bats fighting, so maybe he should have called it. I don't remember. You also saw that they were on our slope, and honestly, it's getting kind of foggy in my mind, like exactly how the information was, but we shouldn't have gotten that surprised about their attack. Also, Snablo shouldn't really be over here at this time, I think. I don't know, like, well, the flank in general and Snablo should switch roles some of the times. Just Snablo stick more with the combo to spy check and reflect, while you stick less with the combo to conquer the flank. So now you enjoy, this is the moment where you enjoy, like, have regained the flank, which is nice, but you immediately over regress, and yeah, Droid dies really quickly. You milk the point, and then, I don't know, you drop really low, you go under for the pack. That's nice.
There was no pack.
Right.
There was no pack under, and then for the rest of the game I kept thinking there was no pack, you know, on this map. And then, like, towards the end, I went under and I found the pack, and I was like, oh, there actually is a pack. Interesting.
Yeah, and look, like now, right after you and Roy sack for no reason, they immediately take our bats area, and they're able to spam across, distract us, and they get a really good crits, I believe, at this very moment. Yeah, they already did it. Or did they? Let's look at their crits. Yeah, they must have crits just recently, and they got a pretty good Uber, I believe. Seems like Winters is having a really hard time as well getting stabs, because first of all, they are really diligent about spy checking, and secondly, if our team cannot distract them because we're not putting up enough of a fight, then they're going to have all the time in the world to, you know, be watchful as well. So can't really blame him too much for that. You go right again. Droider should be with you. I don't know, maybe he's dead, so he's a little bit late. But you get kind of focused again. Although I think you kill the scout, which is nice. That MGE power, you know.
Yeah,
but
I did.
Yeah, but we have to sack on the point.
I used my spy strats on the scout. I corner stabbed him.
Yeah. You're using your spy strats on this mid as well, though, and you like run straight in and die.
I don't know if you ever do that, but as scout, like you can go around the corner and do like the corner step maneuver, and get a cool mid shot on them.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. It's pretty good because they don't know. Like if you're low, especially, and they're trying to chase you, they don't know what to expect. That if they don't chase after you, like if they delay, you might just get away. But if you're around the corner and they just like plus forward into you, then you can get like a mid shot and just make a comeback. So here their demo is on top of their shack again, and last mid you just killed them for free. So let's see what happens this time. That looks like a pre-fire, right? Or was that a pipe? I think it was a pipe. So you get low, you pick up the health pack. Droid jumps in just after you, and he dies to their Solly and somebody else. So yeah, pretty bad overextension yet again. Now you jump up after, take a rocket. Let's see if you get an arrow.
Oh, I was no. Everriser just ignored me, and then he walked away, and I got killed by another soldier.
Right.
That was so painful for me. I was like arrow, and he just walked away.
Yeah. That was a poor mid, not only from you though, but our whole team. See if like the rest of our team would also kind of be able to do anything, then maybe Evan wouldn't have felt pressured and kind of ran away instead of arrowed you. It wasn't entirely his fault. So yeah. I don't think there was much reason to use the milk there because we're not going to be able to push anyway, but yeah.
Well, I didn't use the milk almost at all, because I'm not used to the milk. I just equipped it for Highlander.
I understand. I guess we should just start first. Get used to starting it. What am I trying to say? First, get used to using it, and then we'll just start being a bit more coordinated with the milk eventually. But yeah, there was something else that I wanted to say right here. Oh yeah, Droy should also be whipping our heavy to mid. That's something that I completely neglected in our previous demo review, but one of the reasons why they might have been, you know, in a better position faster was because Droy wasn't using the whip, and obviously he's not used to that because he's new to Highlander, right? But we'll just inform him about that because it could certainly help us getting in position faster. So we'll fix that for sure. Let's see where he jumps. Straight into scout. He'll survive though. But yeah, again, like we should all try to synchronize our aggression.
Their spy just gets a kill again.
Yeah, their spy gets like way too many kills. To be frank, I kind of want to look at this whole match from their spy's perspective to just see how ridiculous all of his kills were. Nice job killing their Solly on the flank. Joy should probably have lived, but what can you do? You can't always just say that people should always survive, because sometimes you don't survive.
Oh, I was retarded here.
Yeah, bit of an overextension yet again. And this is the point where we took the right side because we were just trying to switch it up. And I noticed that Garden Fungus commented on, in regards to Snabble's spy checking, that he should probably focus more on spy checking behind us because that's where we're not looking anyway, right? So spy checking in front of us doesn't have that much of a purpose. Obviously right here, I mean, he's trying to get their scout right, which is fine. But I believe their spy right here goes for our sniper. Could have gotten our med though as well, so might want to just, you know, spy check these corners. But I guess we as well could spy check more, like the pyro doesn't have to spy check. They get a massive crits though. I can't remember if we even had the crits, but yeah, we were in a really terrible position. I do have to say though, like at this moment where we got crits in the previous demo review, I said that I thought that Snablo wasn't with us. He was with us, so I had to apologize for that. But nevertheless, we kind of just died to their crits. I love how Snablo kind of goes forward. He doesn't get punished, and their heavy is just not even doing anything. He's just hiding or under there. I don't know if Snablo even saw him, but he gets like, I don't know. It's honestly so embarrassing. I don't even want to look, but we'll see. We'll see that in just a moment. Let's see where their sniper is positioned. Their sniper did pretty well. I think Cookie should also have. Yeah, this is the moment where their heavy does that. Anyway, we looked at that in the main demo review. Just wanted to touch on Cookie's sniping because he was almost always on the right side. And I don't know, when you weren't holding the right side, maybe it wasn't safe. But more importantly, they were almost always like really heavily in this section right here. At least when they weren't like pushing us. So maybe it would have been better, especially on mids, to roll out left side and try to snipe from here. I think that would have been better. Especially if we wanted to go for a kind of aggressive mid that I was advocating in the beginning. Because I had talked about how if we wanted to do an aggressive mid, we needed to have our heavy with us. But we'd be at a disadvantage, obviously, because if our sniper is over here, he's not going to be able to snipe all the people on their slope right, but their sniper from their left side could snipe us being aggressive. However, if we have our sniper on the left side, that is somewhat equalized. So we'll talk about that as well. And yeah, this is just desperation pretty much. We did manage to cap the point, but not for very long. Joy actually market gardens their medic, although definitely something that he should not get used to, because good teams will not let him get away with that. Speaking of which, I think Joy has kind of a roamer mindset from sixes, so he's too used to bombing in, and a lot of the times in sixes, if you can get a good bomb with a lot of damage, your team can follow up really easily. But because Highlander is more based in defensive play, your team isn't always able to just follow up on damage, and a lot of the time you'll get denied really easily as well when you're trying to jump, because between a heavy, a pyro, and a sentry, you know, there's so much knockback and even reflects that can just completely deny your rockets. So Joy should definitely play a little bit more conservative. This is pretty messy. I think.
Oh, there's Spy got the tricks them on Snablo.
Yeah, I actually remember that he got a trick stab on Snablo. I wanted to see that again, so let's go back.
He also got trick stabs on Danwink. That was really sad to watch.
Yeah, I caught that one on the main demo review, and I asked him about it. Like, it looked like a face stab from third person, but I don't know.
in like, I saw it in spectator in game, and it looked like a legit normal trick stab how it would look.
Yeah, I mean, third person can always be a little bit deceiving. If you remember the review on Lakeside, where Evan was like watching their spy, but his model was looking towards the point, and like.
I don't think I saw a review on Lakeside. Maybe I was away on that scrim.
Yeah, actually, you weren't playing on that scrim. You might want to watch the review anyway, though, because it's pretty funny, and there's some stuff you can learn about Lakeside. It isn't as long as this one either, so I recommend watching it. It's a good watch. Anyway, let's watch some spy porn in that of a trick stab.
You had it on the spy in this case. I think. No, please.
I didn't go far enough back, I guess.
You went just after the trick stab.
Mm-hmm. Their spy was really good though. Credit
He's
due.
a YouTuber. Oh.
Oh, But I am 2 now.
Yeah, but he has like 40 times more subs than you.
Oh, god damn it. Why do you have to make me feel bad like this?
You use first person, mate.
Man, I feel bad for doing this. I couldn't even see what happened there. That was weird.
You should watch it from the spice POV.
Okay, let's do that. Last time.
I think you should do a demo review of their spy for Epsilon and Frontiers.
I don't think so, but yeah, it would be funny.
No, I mean, they could learn from the enemy spy, I think. It did.
Well, to be honest, I think it was... I mean, their spy played really well, but it's so different all the time. Like, what you gotta do as a spy. You can never go in with a single plan in mind. You have to just make your decision based on what's going on. And the likelihood that they will have a similar game to this is not very high, right? So we won't be able to just...
They won't, but they like know some general stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, they can look at the demo and watch from the enemy spy's POV if they want. I don't think I should be going through that. I should probably be studying for my exams. Let's look at their spy. It's POV, by the way. Where is he? Here he is. Ooh, using the kunai.
Oh yeah, that's what I always used to do in scrims.
Look, you can tell he's good because he's flicking in between his knife and his revolver. That's something that Epsilon and Winters can learn from. Flick between your weapons a lot. You can do it even faster if you... Yeah, that was nicely done. If you scroll, you can switch between your weapons even faster.
Oh yeah.
Pro tip. Okay, let's look at the final round. And we'll focus on the flank again. I think something that I could possibly try is to do kind of a faster rollout and try to like maybe block off their right side. I don't know how well that it would work, but I mean, especially if we see that their flank is always rolling out to the left, they can't really punish me that hard for like getting here and sticking off this entrance. And if the rest of our team can like come pretty quickly and protect me from the flank, then it's something that we could experiment with, at least in like scrims and such. I'll look more into that though. If we combine it with like the disciplinary action from Joy, it could be something that that could be interesting. Again, like Joy dies very early on, not good, and all of that. This sentry placement, is this a mini sentry?
No.
No, okay. So I guess he's looking to like build a level 2 behind the shutter or something. So
I told him to do that sometime.
yeah, Tanwig mentioned it as well in
I don't know, I mean, it might be a mini sentry if they are bugged in demos. I think he was running minutes.
yeah.
But it looks like a level 1 to me.
Yeah, didn't happen, like not much happened to it though. I think maybe it should have been placed a little bit further out, like here or something. Because if they take the flank, like the sentry won't help with most of this area, and after that the Solly can just, you know, edge it around the corner really easily. So maybe not ideal sentry placement. They get massive crits as well. And yeah, both you and Joy, I mean, died on the flank. So now we just have a full reset. I like that you spot this Solly. And he just gets focused. Snarl, although I think like should have rotated to the left immediately right now. Although, I mean, I guess it's checking for the spy. We'll go back to focusing on the flank now. Oof, yeah, you get caught off guard here. I guess the Natasha doesn't make it easier because
I just didn't expect the heavy to go under, but no one else.
yeah, it happened one time earlier as well. Like Tanwig saw it once and he kind of just tried to jump in and fight them, but there was like a heavy and a solly, so you just shouldn't let them get away with that. But I think one of the reasons why putting the heavy under is somewhat of a viable strategy is because the mid is so open, so heavies on mid can get headshots so easily, right? So there's that. But yeah, both you and Joy died to the heavy. Not ideal, to say the least. Cookie kills their sniper. I like.
Cookie killed Snow. He's actually in Snow's group.
Oh, betrayal. Top 10 enemy betrayals.
I wanna tell that to Cookie, but he's offline.
Right here, you and Roy should be trying to take their flank on left side. You don't really... There's not much that you can contribute in the crits push anyway. It's most likely just going to be worse because if they counter pop their crits, it's a high risk that more of us are gonna die. Also here, Tanwig was leading a bit too much, I think, and it's just something that he has from you know, playing demo. But he shouldn't be doing this. He expected me to follow up a bit faster. But what I was doing is I was actually trying to get tabs on their positioning so that I could make a more informed decision on when to call for the crits. So that is why I was like dipping a little bit back and forth. Now I pop crits, Tanwig dies immediately, and I get some decent damage, but the thing about Evan is that his movement is kind of weird. He'll like oftentimes do this useless back and forth things where he like dips way too far forward, and just now it kind of caused him to run into a crit sticky. So yeah, that was bad. Meanwhile though, Troy goes down on the flank, so, and you're down as well. Maybe you did try to, oh no, I think you died over here, right? You and Joy should have been together in trying to cap the flank. Although you might not have been able to do it because of their heavy, but still. Maybe just like stay on top of this roof, play around the dispenser for heals and stuff. If you would have gotten the flank for free though, you could have just done like a collapse onto their combo, but since you didn't get the flank for free because they had committed the heavy, you know, just play passive because they have already committed more resources to the flank. That's something that you should keep in mind a lot of the time. If you made a lot of resistance in the flank, you should consider that as a default victory, because at that point you don't need to fight because our combo already then has a number advantage, right? So just play passive, play around, I don't know, like the sentry or dispenser or something, spam them out, prevent them from capturing our flank, and be content with that, so that you're always ready to kind of follow up on whatever the team is doing. You should never try to like go for really ambitious plays. In general, I think we have a bit of a superiority complex in that we underestimate our opponents, and then we go for silly plays and just die deservingly. And right here we're way too poached up on this side as well, and their flank again, like at this point you should just be contesting their solly on the right side. Okay, let's see, both you and Joy are... Now you survived. Let's see where you are at. Okay, you got like pretty far behind. I think in general though, going behind them hasn't been very successful, so you should maybe just consider playing more with Joy and creating room on the flank. Let's see what Joy does. He gets up on this roof and spams. I think that's fine. Guess they're like trying to push, and yeah, right now there's not that much point in going over here, right? We bleed a lot of players though, and they kept the point. Yeah, right here you found the health pack, although I don't know if you would have died if you didn't go for that health pack, but generally if you move forward towards the health pack, the likelihood that you're gonna die to an enemy is a lot bigger, so it would have maybe been better to try to retreat instead of going under there. Not that it would have made that big of a difference. I think we're, like, for our last push, we're trying to push on the right side again. But it gets completely shut down. Let's find out how it happens. One headshot and... yeah, now their spy gets Evan, I believe. Yeah, it's terrible that we just let this happen. I don't know, does Evan... I mean, he's looking right at the spy right now. I don't know if he gets... yeah, should not have been how that turned out. What did you say?
It's a demo.
It's a demo? You mean like the vision might have been bugged?
Yeah.
Like it didn't see it? Yeah, could have happened. I'm not sure, to be honest. Although, I mean, as a medic, you have a lot of freedom to turn your crosshair around anyways to look for spies, so should maybe just try to do that a bit more regularly. But, I mean, as I've said every single time we talked about their spy, it's a job that our entire team should be doing, so I'm not trying to put the blame on any, like, one single person here. Okay, let's just cover some key points for the flank to end off the stream. First of all, Droy should be using the disciplinary action on cough maps to whip our team out for a more solid mid. Then you should not suicide on mids that quickly, because you did that a lot, both you and Roy. On payload, as well as a bit on the cough maps, you should not go too much behind them, and, you know, if you find yourself behind them, maybe just try to do something with it a bit more effectively. Don't wait around for, like, something amazing to happen. Just, if you can't get anything, pick off their teleporter and call that you're behind. Maybe try to go for a coordinated push, or else, you know, just pick their sniper if his position is called out, or regroup with Droy, for instance. You know, just don't wait around, especially if they don't have any dead players, or if their respawn wave is going to be so big that there's no way you can fight them. If their respawn wave is really big, it might be because we just took a pretty dominating fight, in which case you should look to collapse and, like, kill off stragglers as a scout, right? That's one of your biggest strengths. So that's one of the important points to take into consideration. In general, you and Joy should be playing more together, and that implies a lot better communication, because I didn't hear you that much in voice chat. Try to, you know, stick together more, focus the same person, take control of the flank, and when you do hold the flank, don't always just push on. Be content with just holding ground sometimes, and try to wait for the rest of the team to be ready for a push. Now, we didn't get to be aggressive that much on this map, but when we're aggressive, you know, try to take their flank, unless we're actually fighting somewhere else. Just try to take their flank and kill their... I mean, I remember from the match where we played on Asheville, where we won really hard. I played Solly. Obviously, it's not a fair comparison because we won, but I remember that I was just able to hold their flank really hard and kill everybody who came there. And if they didn't contest me, I would just collapse onto their combo, right? Together with the rest of the team. So that's kind of the dream scenario for the flank, right? You're just able to go uncontested on their side of the map and kill anybody who tries to flush you out. And if they're not flushing you out, you just get to call your position, distract them, and just kill them together with a coordinated attack with your team. Other than that, I don't think there was much. Maybe sometimes you should be pushing the cart a bit more. You know, you can't really contribute that much during Uber pushes. if we're pushing a sentry position and everything, because then we'll just have to flash you and there's not that much a scout can do, so maybe just push the cart a little bit more on payload. And yeah, I think that was most of the most important stuff. I'll just get back to you if there's anything else I remember. So yeah, I'll stop the stream right now.